Welcome back to The Bench, folks. As you know, here at StewMac, we're all about sharing, building, and repair techniques and showing off amazing new tools. But it's not every day where you get the chance to sit down with a world-class player who really brings the art of lutherie to life. So today, we're super happy to welcome Jocelyn Gould. She's in town for the Ohio University Jazz Fest. She's an accomplished guitarist, a Juno Award-winning recording artist, and a relentless touring musician. So Jocelyn, thank you so much and welcome to StewMac.
Thank you for having me. It's so wonderful to be here.
Do you mind sharing a little bit about yourself? Give us a little of your history.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Central Canada, Winnipeg. Have lived in New York, I've lived in Toronto, kind of lived all over, but I tour all over and want to play as much guitar as I can with my life.
You certainly seem to play a lot, especially I can tell by your frets you play a lot. So you went to school in Michigan, right? You got a master's degree?
I did,
Michigan?
yes.
Okay,
yep.
Great. And what age did you start playing guitar?
I started as kind of just a self-taught guitarist. As a teenager, my older brother showed me how to play power chords, and I asked him how long it would take me to get as good as him, and he said, "You can try, but you'll never be as good as me."
Does he still play to this day?
No, but I'm still trying to prove myself. But I was self-taught through whatever my brother was able to show me. He was self-taught too. And I didn't start listening to jazz or studying the guitar until I was 20 years old.
So I think I saw in another interview with you too that your love of jazz started with a jam session you saw in college?
Yeah, so I was a science student. I was doing a science degree. I had never played the guitar in front of people before.
Really?
Nope.
Okay.
Except a couple of times when my mom dropped me off downtown and told me to busk.
Oh, really?
So I did, but I just I didn't like it at all. I was like, I'm never doing that again. So I was in my third year of a science degree, and a couple of my friends who were music students brought me out to their jam session, and I just, was already listening to all these great blues players. So I was listening to improvised music and just got blown away just by jazz music. Yeah. So I completely switched, quit science, and started taking guitar lessons.
Okay.
And actually learning I know this is C, but what does that mean?
Uh-huh.
So I was late to learning about music, how it works, but not late to having it in my ear.
So you're a Benedetto endorsed player, right?
Yeah, yes.
Tell us about that. How did that come about?
My mentor, Randy, is a Benedetto player, and he started playing their guitars, I think, in 2016. He started telling them about me in 2016. That was when I moved to Michigan. He started saying, I've got this student. She's going to be really good, and you should consider, having her play one of your guitars. A couple years went by. I was able to win a couple guitar competitions, and they reached out to me in July 2019 and just said, hey, would you be interested in having a conversation? I'm really an excitable person, so I wrote back, I was like, how about I buy a flight down there today? So a few days later, I was on my way to Savannah.
Awesome.
And
that's great.
Left with this.
So when you got on board with Benedetto, did you try different models, or is this the one you picked specifically?
I went down to the shop, and they have a showroom, so I tried a bunch, and I'm a little impatient, so I wanted one that day. There was an option to have one made, and I was like, well, I'll just have one of the ones that's already been made. And a 16B works great for me, just a slightly kind of smaller body than the big boxes. I love the sound out of the carved top.
Yeah.
and it just was a perfect guitar for me to be traveling around with.
Yeah. So is this your main guitar now?
It's actually my only,
guitar.
instrument. Yeah.
I respect that. This is a great one. This is a 16B,
Yes.
is that correct?
Yeah.
And you tour all around the world with this, right?
Yeah.
You travel by yourself a lot?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have a tech or anything
I
on the road.
I
What
don't.
do you do to make sure that this guitar survives all the different climates you're in?
Yeah, well, I have a great custom-made Colton case. That's sort of the first step, that it can get on and off the plane safely. Honestly, I, find myself adjusting the action a lot, but it's an incredibly playable instrument.
It's pretty stable?
It's really not too often that I get somewhere and it's out of whack.
Okay.
It's really, if I kind of just adjust my intonation, and I'm a little obsessive with my action. I'm always moving it. Even on gigs, sometimes you'll see me like, I need it higher, need
That's
it lower.
great. When you're home, do you have a luthier or a repair person that you work with at home for bigger stuff? Refrets, nuts, structural work?
I visit the Benedetto shop about
Okay.
once a year.
Okay.
And so far that's all it's needed. I bring it in and Damon Myland does whatever we're talking about.
Great.
And yeah. And these cracks have kind of appeared over the years. You can see one here, one here, one here, one here. I freaked out when I saw this initial crack. This was the first one.
That's understandable, yeah.
Yeah, I sent a photo over to Benedetto and I was like, there's a crack in the wood. I've ruined my instrument. And they were like, no, actually that's not a crack in the wood. This is the lacquer kind of aging. And as it actually ages and these cracks develop, the sound will actually become more mature and resonant.
Yeah.
So I found that so fascinating.
Let's talk tone a little bit. I've noticed you have a unique positioning when you play the guitar, and I've even noticed you have kind of a method of hybrid picking where you play with the pick, but you tend to use your fingers to kind of strum upwards too.
Well, do you have 2 hours for me to get excited about tone
please.
and sound? I am really, really interested in natural sound.
Yeah.
And I want to just be able to create the most beautiful sound coming out of the instrument just by myself, even unamplified, before I then go to an amp.
Sure.
Or add anything else. And I sit in a very particular way with my instrument. The reason that I sit how I do is because I want the back piece of wood of the guitar to touch as little of me as possible, so that the sound, rather than getting absorbed, if the guitar is up against me, it kind of mutes the back piece of wood a little bit.
Yeah.
The sound will get absorbed, but I get a more resonant sound if I'm not touching it, and the sound can bounce off the back, as a lot of classical guitarists
Yeah, it's
would.
like a classical style of playing. I think for
Yeah.
much of the same reason too. They want that projection, especially they're rarely playing plugged in.
Right. And I record with a mic on my guitar.
Okay.
And I actually use quite a bit of the acoustic sound in my mix on my albums or anything.
Wow, okay.
So it's a really important element to my sound to have this acoustic aspect. So I, at one point, decided to learn from George Benson's style of picking.
Oh.
He kind of almost approaches from underneath, and it's sort of like a wrist movement. I'm a little more neutral. I try to keep a neutral wrist, and actually that's a big part of a technique that I'm working on right now. I find sometimes I have a bit of a tilt here. So I'm really working on neutral wrist, and I use all 3 of my other fingers for picking as well. Most guitar players, or many guitar players, don't use their pinky. I grew up in a small town, and just no one
to stop you.
Yeah, no one said don't do that.
Yeah.
So it just became a part of what I do. I think I was just like, well, this is here, so why not?
There's no
use
wrong
it?
or right to it, it's you make it work. thumb or the pads of your fingers?
Both. So I really want an organic sound that is a combination of the flesh and the nail, and then they kind of are combined to get a sound that I want. And really, I mean, once I'm getting into the nitty gritty of it, I've been also working just with angles because I'm trying to get the like scratching. I don't like when I pick and you get that sound. So I'm trying to figure out a way to play right now that I can get an organic sound without the scratching of the round wounds. That's how I've always done it. And I really think in terms of preparing the string, keeping everything loose, no tension in any of your joints. It should really just be ergonomic, and you never want to be like bending up. I'm really cognizant of looseness and how I can have a technique that I can do for a long time that doesn't provide strain.
It's great that you brought up the acoustic sound of the instrument, because even though it is electric and you play it plugged in primarily, it's lots of folks just assume that all of that sound is coming from your pickup. And while it is a large portion of it, it's starting with the wood. Is there a specific amp or pedal setup you use when you play out? What do you use when you're home? What do you take on tour with you?
Yeah, well, on the road, I don't travel with an amp because I'm flying by myself often. On my rider, I have a Fender tube amp, so it's usually either a deluxe reverb or a Princeton. So that's often what I'm working with on the road. Of course, there's, those amps are often quite different just from one deluxe reverb to the next. So that's a big thing for me, is just to get into the venue and get with the amp and try and figure out the space and the sound.
You always make sure you have a little time beforehand to get to know the amp as well.
Definitely.
Have you gotten into situations where you're just pretty unpleased with the sound you're getting?
Definitely I do, and I don't always know why. It can be, there's so many elements to sound. It can be even just the way, sometimes I will hear the board mix or a video from a recording of the show afterward, and the sound that I was experiencing often is actually completely different from the sound that the audience is experiencing. So for me, I need to feel, or I have a certain roundness that I'm going for. I want to feel, if I don't feel happy with how it's sounding to me, then I can't play as confidently. So I definitely, stick around the space. And sometimes you just don't get it. And then sometimes it's like, for whatever reason, you had the most beautiful.
You just plug in and it's there.
It was just there, just something was on. And I think it can even be in just how you're playing.
What about pedals or anything like that? Is there any effects you use?
I usually go just straight into the amp. I did just a couple of days ago get a 57 Custom Deluxe. So those don't have reverb. So I got a UA Heavenly Plate reverb, and on my social media everyone's like, what is that pedal? I think it's because I never use pedals. I got like 50 what pedal is that? I am starting to try some different reverbs, but not so much.
I didn't think so. It's your tone's very clean and very pure. I can tell you you have a specific sound you're going for. I'm kind of leading you somewhere here, Jocelyn. We've here at StewMac, we also sell amp kits, and we're getting ready to come out with a new one that we're all very proud of, called the VF18. It's a tiny little kit, very portable, 18-watt tube amp. It's kind of based on a Marshall circuit, but one of the unique properties of it is that it's capable of accepting a wide variety of preamp tubes, so you can really sculpt the sound to suit you. And I've had our amp tech here, Devin Metzler, go through one that we've built and kind of dial it into what I think is a tone you'll like. And if you would be so kind, we would love for you to maybe play one, demo it, try it out.
I would love to.
If you like the VF18, maybe you would even want to take it and play it.
That would be amazing.
Okay. Folks, I want to thank you so much for joining us back at the bench here. Thanks so much to Jocelyn for coming to town and making some time to visit us and letting me go through her beautiful Benedetto. We appreciate it so much. Stick around. and check out some of Jocelyn's beautiful playing. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you at the bench next time.